Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Warships from Guinea Titan. Now, I wasn't originally planning to put up a video of World of Warships today. I was originally thinking of putting up a video for the Valkyria Chronicles continuation of the playthrough. However, that's quite a long video and it would take quite a lot of time for it to upload. So I thought I could put up a video of World of Warships instead. And that proved to be a bit more difficult than I anticipated. The first problem was that I kept dying a lot. Most of the videos I had were absolutely hopeless. I mean, it wasn't that, I can't blame my teammates or anything like that. I just suck at the game. And this is one of my better games, but it's probably less my fault. It's more the case of a stopped clock is right twice a day kind of thing. You'll have good games even if you suck at a game. I did it at the beginning of World of Tanks. You had games where you came top by experience or number 2 by experience or something like that, even though overall you're actually a pretty poor player. And similarly with World of Warships, I thought it was so bad though today and yesterday that I'd finish up putting up a death reel. So I'd be just showing all the different ways my ships blew up, got torpedoed by planes, got bombed by planes, burned to the waterline by high explosives from cruisers, blown up by warships, torpedoed by cruisers, torpedoed by destroyers, all that kind of stuff. Now, I know the advice you get is that you're supposed to stick with other players, you're supposed to not go anywhere on your own, and I generally try and follow that advice, and I generally try and go in a direction that other people have gone, and there's at least 2 or 3 cruisers and destroyers with me. And battleships preferably. But then I go there and I find that I get absorbed in what I'm doing, and the next thing the ships that were with me are either dead, or in many cases they've simply run away, and I'm left here with 5 enemy battleships, and things get pretty messy after that, and rather quickly. I can last a while, but I don't achieve much by doing it. Now, in order to get this video short enough to upload in a reasonable amount of time, since things didn't work out the way I intended to, I'm going to have to edit out some of the more boring bits of this video. So I've just skipped a short period there, just until the guns start firing, and we spot the destroyer. I don't manage to get, I get a defender out of it, so I must have done something, but I don't seem to have done any actual damage. Just I've done enough to knock off some capture points there, but I don't know what it was that I did. Meanwhile, the friendly Charleston has sailed into a full spread of torpedoes. I think only one out of the whole spread missed. There was that one that went behind him. He won't last too long. So I'm going to have to concern myself somewhat with that destroyer on my right. But the battleships in front of me are actually, cruisers and battleships are a bit more of a consideration. Now, I am getting some cover, I think, from the smokescreen, even though I'm not currently detected, I don't think. So I can shoot, and the battleship is busily engaged elsewhere, so he's going to have a problem. If he wants to engage me, he's going to have to turn his guns towards me, and I think all the other ships are engaged with targets they can see already. They're already prior engaged to before I sort of show up. I'm detected now because I've come around the island. I think the destroyer will spot me. But again, nobody's shooting, and I'm trying to keep the island in front of me between myself and most of the enemy ships, so that I just have to deal with a small number. Some more torpedoes incoming, but he's not. They're not on sort of course to intercept me now. I've turned around. I think at this point to come back up. We've friendly ships going around the other side of the island there, but because I don't want to show too much of myself on the other side of this island against the remaining part of the enemy fleet that's in front of my previous course. And I'm going to focus on this enemy battleship that we're have him almost destroyed, so he's gone. And then I'm going to switch my focus to the nearest cruiser, because again I think that's going to be the priority target. Everybody else should be shooting at him as well. And I'm actually making some hits. There's some more incoming torpedoes. I don't think he anticipated that I was going to make a full turn. I thought he might have thought that I was going to go after him. So he didn't direct the torpedoes up this way, whereas I'm not actually going after that destroyer. I don't want to tangle with him at all. I want to stay focused on these guys and help out the battleships beside me. The advantages to the enemy team at this point, and in fact, they have 2 circles captured, they're a ship up, and these enemy ships that are that I'm firing at, that we're engaged with over here, they would have been better off actually if they'd used the cover of the islands to just turn around, disengage and get out of there. Another spread of torpedoes in for me, but I'm beyond their effective range. The destroyer is going the other way, so he's obviously increasing the distance between me and him, and he fired those too late and he'd gotten out of effective range. The reason I said that the enemy ships would be better off if they actually withdrew at this point is because they're ahead on capture points, and that lead would increase over time. So we've only 1 circle flipped, and if they withdrew out of there, instead of being fighting outnumbered, and in an effective crossfire, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships versus 2. Even if one of the 2 of the ships mightn't be effectively in it, we've certainly got 4 ships versus 2, and the 3 battleships on my left are more or less engaged continuously, so I'm in and out between the islands and stuff like that, so I'm not always firing at them. But still, the odds are very heavily against them, and if they actually just got out of there and withdrew back towards the direction of their fleet, they would, well, they'd survived that bit longer. We'd have been chasing them. They had a chance of getting back to their fleet, and at the same time, their lead on capture circles would be building up. And that would be massively to our disadvantage. Now, it turns out there's 3 of them there. I thought there was only 2. But there's actually 3 enemy ships there. But even still, they're still outnumbered. Because I'm here and that other cruiser behind me is here as well. And we're all putting fire into them even if they don't necessarily see us. And in fact, by sinking that battleship, we've managed to claw back the lead that they had on us on ships. And also regain some of the lead that they had on us on points as well, because when you sink enemy ships you deprive them of points. So we're now focusing fire on this cruiser, and he seems to be dead in the water. Don't know whether he's had steering damage or engine damage, or whether he was just stopped for some reason or other. Either way, he's going to pay a fairly heavy penalty for it, because he's under a crossfire. He's taken fire from a broadside from battleships and directly from the front from myself. So he's in trouble one way or the other, and he's just not getting. He didn't get out of it at all. So that now leaves 1 enemy ship left. And he probably won't get away at this point. I mean, the thing is that maybe the one that was steaming towards the enemy mightn't have gotten away, but the other 2 probably could have. Certainly the cruiser could have if he had actually been on the move and moving away. As soon as they discovered that there were down ships and how many of us was coming in or closing in on them. Now we're starting to flip Bravo as well, so the capture circle advantage is going to go away from the enemy as well. And we're probably going to claw back or gain a ship advantage really shortly. Although at this point we've lost all our destroyers, and we killed more battleships than they have. Yes, I think we've killed 1 more battleship. So it's going to be interesting at this point in time. He's not in bad shape at the moment, but he's under fire from at least 3, if not 4 ships. And he's also under fire from different directions, so he can't effectively tank. Now, he makes a huge mistake here, I think. I put lit a fire, and he immediately used his damage control party to put out that fire. But there's another cruiser behind me. There's 2 battleships behind him as well. All of us are firing at him, and I think the other cruiser will have a further window of opportunity to fire the ones behind me, because I think he's stopped and he's further out as well, so he may actually be able to fire over the island, whereas I can't. I'm too close to the island to fire over it, so he may be able to fire over this island. Anyway, when I come out of this side of the island, he's already burning. He's got a fire burning. So I presume it was the other cruisers that set fire to him. So now he can't put that out because he's damage repairs on cooldown. And I've just managed to set a second fire, so now he has 2 fires burning. So So now he's just bleeding out health from the fires, and he's showing broadside to me, and I'm going to start switching to armor piercing any minute now. And he's also under fire from 2 battleships. Don't know if he's still... No, the other cruiser's gone behind the island, so he's not under fire from the other cruiser anymore. But he's under fire from... And he's just burning away. One of the fires has gone out, and he's still burning at the second fire, and that's it, he's gone. So now we are at ship advantage, and I'm going to go and... My next objective really is to cap Alpha, because I'm out of the fight for a moment here as I traverse along the back of this island. Moving along past the island, I notice that another enemy cruiser is coming out in my direction, and he's on low health as well, so I'm going to prepare to shoot him as soon as he comes around into view, and I bring my guns to bear. Now he's starting to turn, he knew I was there, and he manages to evade that salvo completely. Now, I think he was originally, not sure what he's originally going to do, but he decided to give me a full broadside, which was a massive mistake, because I managed to get some hits into him here, and I'm going to get a few more hits into him in a moment. He doesn't have a lot of health left, so he's not going to win a fight with me, and that wasn't the best move that he made. Now, there's a battleship up here. I'm going to take the opportunity to shoot at him as long as he is visible. But I'm probably not going to pursue him or anything like that. I'm going to continue my pre-planned course of flipping Alpha before I go back into the fight. Now, I know the advantage has swung around to our side and we're ships ahead at the moment, but that can change, because a lot of our ships are fragile, and I think we're going to lose that cruiser that's going up there at the other side of the island with the enemy battleship. There is pretty much nothing I could have done to save that cruiser. Even if I had decided to go after the battleship from the get-go and change my course away from Alpha, it wouldn't have made any difference, because I simply wouldn't have got there in time. And I don't think it would have been a good idea anyway, because I do not want to get into a close-range gunfight with a destroyer, even though I'm in pretty good shape, or with a battleship. Because if I get inside the secondary gun range, which I'd have to be up there to engage him on the other side of the island, then I don't think I'd win, to be honest with you. It's a tier 4 battleship. I don't think I'd win a gunfight with it. I'd only, I think, beat it if I was engaged with it with help. So I'm going to go into the cap circle here, and I'm going to cut that bit out because, again, it doesn't contribute anything to the excitement of the film and the video, and I want to keep things pretty short as well. I want to get to shorten things down as much as I can. I think, do I get one more shot of this guy? I probably do, but I don't think I do anything significant. Now, one of our battleships has actually knocked a nice chunk out of him. Now, they look like they landed in the right spot, but I don't know if they did any damage or not. Now, as soon as I got into the island, or as soon as I got into the cap circle, I basically slowed the ship down to half speed, did a sharp turn, and kept the island between myself and the Miyoji. In the meanwhile, the Miyoji's come out of the other side, and he's taken another salvo from one of our battleships. I was concerned while I was capping that our battleships would get ambushed by the enemy cruiser and destroyer, because they were kind of currently unknown. Now, the destroyer went in and flipped Charlie while I was flipping Alpha, so the cap situation is finished up pretty much unchanged. And the location of the remaining enemy cruiser is currently unknown. I've no idea where he is. Oh, he's just after turning up on the map, I think. That's him way off to the northwest. So it's the battleship versus the three of us. Like, he's in gunnery range of me. Just about. That fell short. He's managed to make the turn. And I better watch myself here. I don't want to run ashore onto the island, because that would make me very vulnerable to gunfire from pretty much everybody else. Missed again with that shot. And I think the enemy destroyer made a mistake here. He came out straight through, ran right close to both battleships. I think the idea was he's torpedoed one of them, obviously, and he's managed to sink him. Yep, he sunk him. But I think he he could have done it from the safety of the smoke screen, and even better off because he exposed himself to the secondary guns of both battleships. And well, I was putting them under fire as well, or at least trying my best, but I don't think I was very successful. But I think the other battleship managed to hit him with both primary and secondary armament, and there is the enemy cruiser trying his luck with me, but he's at very long range and he was well off, and I'm not currently detected. The battleship is still alive, but he's got very, very low health, and the two of us should be able to take him quite comfortably. In fact, I think I could probably even take him on my own at this point. So I'm going to steam forward. The battleship is around here somewhere. He's either... Well, he went around the back of that island. Did he cross the smoke screen while it was still active? It's possible, and if he did, I'm surprised as the battleship sufficiently far. He's onto the island, so the battleship might not have a line of sight onto him wherever he's currently, because I think he pops up there. He just pops up right about now, and I think I'm just after spotting him, but he's after spotting me as well. And we both launch salvos around the same time, but I managed to set a fire, and that is very, very useful. He hasn't done huge amounts of damage to me. He didn't get a citadel hit or anything. So I've gotten a fire going, and he's got very low health, and I am going to try and set a second fire because I'm going to keep after him. We're knocking a few more hit points out of him. I'm taking fire from the cruiser as well, but I'm not too worried about the cruiser. I'm going to keep my broadside on the battleship, and eventually we take him down. I think the friendly battleship got a hit in. At this point, the cruiser doesn't matter. We're already flipping Charlie, but we're so close, having sunk the battleship to completion, that we're just going to complete the game on capture points before anything else is going to happen. I'm going to get a salvo off. He's going to get a salvo off. I don't think either of us are going to come close to hitting each other. And that's it. We have 3 capture points. We're at 995, 998,000. Game over. It's done. So the final score comes up, and we'll just have a look at what I got. So I earned a nice few credits. I don't really know what good or bad is. I seem to have gotten a good amount of XP. Did 36,000 damage, which is, I think, more than my ship's hit points. I don't know why the experience here on the team sheet is different from the experience on the personal score screen. I don't have a premium account. However, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you did, please give the video a like and a share. If you feel free to comment. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.